Patrol is asking anyone who has seen what happened this morning to report it. The accident happened along Highway 167 in Auburn. The 18-year-old driver of the 2006 Scion died after the car went out of control and hit a guardrail and rolled over. Police say road rage was behind a shooting at a McDonald's near Seattle Center. Seattle Police Commander Neil Lowe says it was not related to Folklife Festival.
Folklife looked like it went really well, so this is not connected to it. I would think it's like an hour or so after.
He says one car hit another in the parking lot, and that's when the shooting started.
Somebody in the car shot at the other car maybe 4 times. We don't know if anybody was hit.
The shooter is still on the run. A driver was killed after his van was struck last night by a couple running from police. Officer Shannon Sessions says police were trying to serve a felony warrant to a passenger in a van at 196th and Linwood when the driver took off and ended up at 44th and 212.
Suspect vehicle went through the intersection, high rate of speed, T-boning this innocent vehicle that was being driven by a 72-year-old man, no passenger.
The driver died at Harborview from his injuries. Some scary moments yesterday in Linwood on I-5. Police received multiple calls from drivers saying a man was pointing what they thought was a gun at passing vehicles at 44th Avenue. A 29-year-old man is in jail on investigation for unlawful display of a weapon. 2 people are at Harborview, one with critical injuries after a stabbing last night in Monroe.
A sheriff's spokeswoman says this all started as a domestic incident. The suspect stabbed his wife multiple times while she was working at a shop on North Lewis Street. Witnesses provided photos of the scene when police arrived. The photos show the suspect in a parking lot holding a knife to his throat. Officers later got the man to surrender by using a taser. I spoke with a guy who chased the suspect down the street and then into an alley. Here's how he described what happened.
I got closer to him right across the street to where, I guess, 10, 15 feet away. And that's when I started yelling at him to get on the ground, and he held the knife up to his throat.
The woman who was stabbed was found on the ground near Adams Northwest Bistro and Brewery. The owner told me some of his guests immediately ran outside to help the victim.
Public Force Kristen Drew. What started out as an officer offering help to a motorist turned into a chase with a police officer tasing the man. Carmen Palmer of the city of Sumner says this morning an officer drove up to a man seen outside his car in a ditch on the East Valley Highway.
He approached the male who was working on the vehicle to offer assistance. As he was approaching, the male started running southbound on the East Valley Highway.
After a foot chase and several warnings, the officer stopped the man with his taser. The man is now in custody. More information is coming out of the Susan Powell case. The latest batch of documents released show investigators seeking permission to mount wiretaps on her husband Josh Powell's phone after she vanished.
Records released earlier show that officials believe Josh Powell likely killed his wife and that his brother Michael Powell helped dispose of the body, but authorities felt they didn't have enough evidence to prove that in court. Both men committed suicide. Josh also killed the couple's 2 young sons. The Salt Lake Tribune reports one document sought permission to wiretap phones belonging to Josh Powell and his father Stephen, believing they would discuss their alleged crimes on the phone. Tracy Ellis, Como News Radio.
Something very important is going on at Evergreen Ford during the Memorial Day sales event. It's our lowest prices ever on new Fords. Listen up, Washington. $4,000 off MSRP on every new Ford car in stock. Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, C-Max, even the electric cars, hybrids, and the 100-mile-per-gallon Energies, all $4,000 off MSRP. Not just one or 2 newspaper price leader cars, but every car in our huge new inventory is sold.
Yeah, it's actually pretty big. It's helping clear the warehouse.
Fiesta, Fusion, C-Max, and the 100-mile-per-gallon Energies, all $4,000 off MSRP. We're proud to make these extraordinary offers during our Memorial Day sales event, but it all ends Monday night. Just go to evergreen4.com, get guaranteed numbers on your trade, and see the lowest rates and the lowest payments in the Northwest. Come and pick up your new car today and drive it home. Click on evergreen4.com, or as always, exit 15, I-90, Issaquah.
See dealer for complete detail.
It's time for sports with Christian Arcan.
The Seahawks will be short another player going into the opening week of the 2013 season. Anthony McCoy went down on day 1 of OTAs for Seattle. He had an Achilles injury. He'll miss 9 months. Considering the fact that they just found out Bruce Irvin, defensive standout, will be suspended for the first 4 games of the season. He violated the league's steroid policy. Matt Kuchar, your leader going into round 4 at the Crown Plaza Invitational. He's at 11 under on a crowded leaderboard. Kyle Busch raced to his 6th Nationwide Series victory of this season. That's Busch's 7th career victory at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Boston Bruins will move on to play Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Finals. They eliminated the Rangers in 5 games, 3-1 your final score. And the NBA will review several plays from Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals that saw the Pacers beat the Heat 97-93. Dwayne Wade's elbow on Lance Stevenson as well as David Westbrook and Mario Chalmers will both get looked at. I'm Christian Arcan for Como News Radio.
Do you need some extra cash to pay off some bills? Maybe take that dream family vacation? Tom Hutler here for Porcello Estate Buyers in Bellevue. Ready to help you. Bring your unneeded gold or silver, jewelry, diamonds, watches, flatware, even coin collections, and Porcello will give you cash on the spot. I trust Porcello Estate Buyers for many reasons. Porcello has specialized in estate jewelry for over 60 years. They have offices all around the country, a national and worldwide buying power. Porcello Estate Buyers will always offer you the most for your jewelry. That's the Porcello promise, to meet or beat any legitimate written offer, period. See Porcello in Bellevue, just north of Nordstrom on Northeast 8. Call 425-454-2300 or click PorcelloEstateBuyers.com.